You're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So congratulations to Conor McGregor. He avenges his loss to DIAZ. The fight pretty much played out similar to the first fight, of course, minus Conor McGregor getting choked out and overexerting himself, punching himself out basically. In this fight, Conor McGregor, he was a lot more economic with his punches. He didn't punch himself out. I know it's pretty easy to do because the thing is, DIAZ is so slow compared to Conor McGregor, and he's so easy to hit. That is the reason why Conor McGregor punched himself out in the first fight, because he was like, man, this dude, no matter what I throw, I can hit this guy with. And not only that, but Conor McGregor, he was used to knocking guys out when he hits them with those punches, and he even said that after the fight. He was surprised that DIAZ was able to walk through his punches. But speaking of DIAZ being so slow, it's pretty interesting because DIAZ, at least for an MMA fighter, DIAZ, he's pretty decent on his feet, and he has a pretty good jab. You know, he has a good stand-up game, and he has a real good jab. But that jab was basically DIAZ's downfall in this fight, because he threw it too slow, and someone with the slickness and the coordination of Conor McGregor, he was able to counter that jab all night. Every time DIAZ threw that slow jab, Conor would counter him with a perfect overhand left. I mean, the whole thing with DIAZ, he has to set everything up with a jab. So once you take away his jab, DIAZ is a sitting duck when it comes to his stand-up game. And that's exactly how it looked. What DIAZ probably should have did is he should have used some feints, and he should have feinted the jab and threw maybe some lead left hands instead, since he was telegraphing his jab the entire night. But he didn't do that. Now, he had a little success, DIAZ did, later on in the fight when he started to close the gap. Because once again, you know, if you can't use your jab, then you can't really set anything up. At least DIAZ, he can't. So once again, if he could not win with his stand-up game, his only chance would be to either smother Conor McGregor, which he started doing later on when he started getting Conor on the cage, when he started to smother him, and then he was able to throw inside combinations that was effective, and it looked like Conor started to slow down a little bit. That was his only chance to win, DIAZ, was to either smother him or take him down. He tried to take down Conor, and he couldn't get him to the ground. So overall, the fight was where Conor wanted it to be. He got to take his time. Once again, he didn't outpunch himself, but he did slow down though. And he did get a little tired in this fight. But overall, Conor McGregor, he was able to outbox DIAZ. And that's why I like this fight, because it was the closest thing to a boxing match that I've seen in the UFC in quite some time. So, you know, that's pretty much it. If they have a third fight, it'll be interesting. I still see it as being competitive, because the one thing about Conor McGregor, his weakness is obviously he doesn't have the best ground game. And when you get on the inside, he doesn't have the best defense. So I think a rubber match would be interesting once again if DIAZ, if he starts using some feints, if he starts switching up his offense a little bit instead of being so predictable with the jab, the slow lethargic jab, he would have a better chance to win in a rubber match. So that's pretty much all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.